We are live. We are live. We are live. Man, State of the Union. President Donald J. Trump was just announced.
Okay.
He's coming in. What's up, Omi? We're here with Omi Bell, host of the Omi Show. Um,
What's going on?
my partner in the movement. I won't say.
Yes.
I don't like saying partner in crime, but my
Yeah.
partner in the movement. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. I am, his hair already looks madness. It looks maddening already. Like what it you're gonna get the State of the Union. This is the one day you'll get your toupee right? No?
Yeah, I'm curious to see how much tan he has. He's not as tan as like when he
He's
goes extra
not.
orange. He
He,
goes extra orange
he
sometimes.
he typically does. He's tired of the orange comments. He's tired of it. He's sick of it. So he had a and then he made him pale. He told him to make him pale this time.
So what can viewers expect from us tonight? What can they expect?
Oh, I thought you was gonna say what they can expect from this. I was about to say a lot of gaslighting, a lot of BSing, and a lot of not telling the truth about anything. But I think that what they can expect from us is just true, straight up commentary on like what we're thinking about what. It's interesting too. I had a conversation today about what it means to like work alongside billionaires. So like this is an interesting day for me to also listen to this. And I'm gonna be really talking about it from a business standpoint. And I'm gonna try to be as objective. I know it's hard to do that when listening to so many lies and craziness, but I'm going to try to be as objective as possible. And I'm going to try to really give the audience a business perspective because I think that, people can argue with it, but there's something to this from a business perspective that's happening that we need to see opportunity in. So I'm going to try to come from a business perspective tonight and I'm going to try to be as objective as possible for the people. What do you think? What are you going to bring?
What am I going to bring?
Yeah, what are you thinking?
Some political. There's some comedy in here already with the. I see you. I see you.
Already.
I see you. His hair, wilding. But all jokes aside, just I would say some political insight. I've had the chance to be at 6 State of the Unions. I've only been in the chamber once. Something like a little insight. There's outside the chamber and what's going on right now in the rotunda. All the media is there because it's almost like you go through almost like a washing machine. And why is he? I hate when he does the little. He puts. He just went up to a 4-star general and just like gave him the shoulder rub thing.
It's a power thing. So his
Is
body language right now coming in is very much about dominance, right? He didn't really smile as much walking in. All the strong like handshake, eye contact things, which is pretty normal, but I think he's been intentional about not smiling until he gets on stage. Like now we see a little smirk kind of thing. He
who's that
doesn't
one
want
black woman in the top? You see the black woman? Who that one black woman in the top middle? She's like, huh?
at the top. She's like
I
clap,
wonder
clap,
who
clap.
she is. I think in real time. The other thing is like I'm gonna be looking up in our to our for our audience. Like he's gonna be making some various policy talks, probably some assertions. I would love to do a little bit of fact checking in real time, but I'm also just curious because when you have a State of the Union speech, it's the chance for a president to position themselves as strength. They want to go through their laundry list of the things they feel that they've done right, address it. This is their opportunity to frame and address how they want to move forward and move the country forward. I think State of the Union speeches have lost a lot of their luster in the internet digital age. I think between Obama, Trump, Biden, maybe even as far back as Bush. But now it's funny. I just you see Al
Oh
Green
wait,
has
you
a.
see that?
Did you see that? Al
See him
Green
kinda
has a.
yeah, he has a sign up. He just and the guy was trying to get him to put it down.
I like that.
I
Al
couldn't
Green.
read what the
Al
sign
Green gonna make
said.
a sign. Al Green gonna make a sign. Let me see. Let me see if I can find what Al Green just did.
Yeah, it's a little
Can,
scroll sign going back and forth.
can you hear it?
I cannot
You can hear it?
happened. Did we
I think we
crash? Did they
just
crash?
had Omi crash
The
a little bit.
Fed.
Can
It
you
was
hear
the
it?
Fed. The Feds did it.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Got it.
It was the Feds. The Feds got me because you froze on my screen too. It's crazy.
Did I?
I could not hear it on your screen. So if y'all see me looking to the sides, because I'm reading the captions.
She didn't even get a universal stand up.
No,
Her own kids didn't even stand up for her. Look, her son sitting next to her, the last one to stand up. They do not respect you, Melania. I will say this though,
that's obvious.
she does look good for 62 or however she is.
Check out the color of outfit choices. Very muted, very black, blue. It's very conservative. And that's on purpose.
Lie number one. Do you play the State of the Union bingo?
No, I haven't. Do you have it?
I mean, there's no universal one. There's a few of them online.
Can you hear my TV? Okay, perfect. Because I'm gonna leave it on.
Oh, I can't hear it.
Oh, you can. Okay, I'm gonna turn it on. Okay, there we go. Well, I knew he was gonna hype this 250th up.
Say that again.
I knew that he would hype up the 250th. Like that's a lot of talk around that. He's also preparing like a lot of pro-American um pro-American like commentary and visuals and media to come out over the next few months too. Here we go with what he inherited.
That's so true.
It's just such BS. Uh oh, Cam, where'd you go?
I'm
You
here.
there? Oh, turn around for who? It's quite obvious that they only care about the 1%. It's like it's
The
so
1%,
obvious.
because they're like the stock market is over 50,000, or the stock market is up. But when how he just framed that and saying a nation in crisis, a wide open border, it's like no, inflation is higher, prices are higher, job job numbers are terrible to the point you have to goose them up or stop even report. They've stopped so many different data that the government puts out because they don't want those numbers to be out there. It's like he's only talking to the brainwashed.
Mm-hmm. Incomes are not rising fast.
Not at all.
America's not respected at all right now. Like that, like people are looking at us
Oh,
like we're crazy.
they're kicking out Al Green.
They kicked him out.
Let me see what.
Millions and millions.
Oh, they think they're helping, and he's like, "Shut up! I want."
Let's see if we're gonna get some hecklers too.
Oh, see, Al Green is getting a lot of love on Threads and X and Twitter right now. He's I'm trying to figure out what he actually said.
Let's see. I'm gonna pull up my other platform.
Oh, I found it. You want to see? Hold up.
What is it? What do you say?
I'm gonna showcase it right here on screen. Do you see that?
No, I can't see it. It's too small. Make it blow it up. Make it bigger. Or can you make that the main screen? No.
I will.
Just read
Look
it.
at that. Al Green, black people aren't apes.
Oh, come on, Al Green. Let's go.
And they just kicked him out for it.
Let's go. Let me get on Twitter.
So what do you think, like, I know there's the polling that's out there, there's image out, there's a public sentiment, there's a TV sentiment, a narrative, but I'm curious to, like, the one of the biggest things, the central thing is what he's done with ICE and his focus on, like, quote unquote immigration reform, but really just uh kicking people who are either illegal or migrants out of the country. Ooh, he
Uh oh,
said the
wait, what just
murder rates
happened?
decline. So with him saying the murder rates are declining, that's not something he can actually take credit for. That's something that's done
Credit for,
more at the
right.
city and state level, and I think he part of ooh snap. Sorry, I don't know what just happened. What just happened? Sorry, YouTube. This is real time. Not my.
What just happened? I gotta close. I can't open up nothing else. It's not giving me any. If I open up anything else, it's slowing me down. I don't know why. It's so weird. I
Can you
need to stay
see?
present. Gas rates are low. Get the fuck out of here. Gas rates have been lower in the past couple of weeks, but not like over the course of his presidency. Right, because they invaded Venezuela and basically took the oil.
Hmm.
I
So
just
how
never
did
know, like, what people are you talking about?
like he's looking at the highest gas prices that were ever were, and now it's under $2 in the lowest. That he's not even making a he's not even like making a one-to-one honest comparison. And there's some Democrats. Now I'm curious to the Democrats that do stand. I'm curious to the Democrats that stand up.
We should have counted the number of times he says millions and millions.
Are mortgage rates really low? Let me start fact checking this guy because I feel like he just
Yeah, let's
saying
start
whatever
doing that real time. He
he's
was just
saying
saying
whatever
whatever.
you want to say.
Like, if you were to take a screenshot of that screen of all those people standing up and just look all the white men there, it's just so
Our
interesting to
mortgage
be
our
like,
mortgage rates the
who runs our
lowest.
country?
Millions and millions. Let's see.
Millions and millions.
So let's talk about this. All right.
Okay, go ahead.
I just Googled, I said, are mortgage rates the lowest they have been in 5 years in 2025? No. To find the lowest in 5 years, you have to look at the pandemic era. In January 2021, average 30-year
Mm.
fixed rates were at an all-time record low of 2.65. By comparison, 6.1 to 7%. So it went down a little bit over 2024 and 23 by point 0.1 to 0.2%. But what? What did you just say?
He
Ah,
was just talking about the
I
receiving barrels of oil from our friends in Venezuela.
I know we're the deadest country now. We're the hottest. I feel like his oldness is coming out.
Oh my God. Okay, wait. I don't know where we are on the recording versus what I'm looking at because I want to slow down. All right. Yeah, we got to employ all with 600,000, let's say over 300,000 Black women unemployed. He is talking about how there's more jobs than ever right now,
He just said there's
more people
70,000. We just
employed.
created 70,000 construction jobs. So it's like the cherry picking of
Oh,
like
he just said we ended the.
the Venezuela. How did he say we just received from our friend and new partner when you in Venice?
Is that how you do your friends and partners?
Exactly. Let me just go ahead and snatch your
That's how
leader
you
out
do your friends and partners? The
of a
answer is
freak.
yes. Cutting people off of food stamps by force doesn't mean that they're not hungry.
So I wonder why every woman didn't wear the white. There's see now ending DEI in America and
Yes,
like
he said that.
and no, I'm just kind of figuring out like why he thinks that's like a d- diversity, equity, inclusion. Yeah, because you kicked them off of
Oh,
food stamps. He said I 2.4
that's what I'm
million.
saying. You kicked them off. Doesn't mean they're not
Not because you
hungry.
helped them get out of poverty.
This part he's doing right now. We're winning so much.
This state of
And
our
like
union is
President
just
Trump,
starting.
why are we winning?
This is ridiculous.
Ridiculous. You know the danger in him saying making that DEI comment from the stage like that? From the State of the Union saying that you're killing DEI, like that's so dangerous. Like he literally just nailed it in like nail in the coffin. Like we knew it was dead in terms of like we knew all these things, but now he really just like nail it. He just put a nail in the coffin just now with that.
Do you hear now? He sounds like we're winning too much. His little
Yeah, winning.
crybaby face.
Please, I want to start winning. And guess who about to come out? Sorry, because I'm a little ahead of the recording.
He just brought in the hockey team to go.
The
Ah,
men's hockey team. Now, I saw that the women's hockey team declined. He actually asked the women's hockey team to come too. They declined.
and that is not the whole hockey team. That's the ones who mess with Trump. So the Democrats, if you notice, when the hockey team is there, they're standing up, but they're still not participating. Oh, there is the whole hockey team on both sides.
The
They
women came
all
too.
no the guys,
Oh,
but
oh yeah, they're
why is
all
our
there.
entire hockey team white?
There's a, well,
There's that.
which makes sense as to why they went right. and why the women said no.
So, did you know why you have some of the Democratic women? This is like the second year in the row that they've worn white. They don't universally wear white, but it's to the suffrage right to confront Trump. But women of the House Democratic Women's Caucus and their guests, including some of the survivors of the Jeffrey Epstein sexual abuse, are planning to. They dressed in all white, modeling themselves after early 20th century women who pressed for the right to vote and other rights. So that they're trying to harken back on the women's suffrage movement and why they're wearing all white. But that's like if you're gonna wear all white, everybody wear all white. You know what I mean?
Right. Coordinate that. But there's quite a few people who have on red, so I wasn't sure if that meant something.
But they, to your point, the women actually declined to come here. Why is it that
Yeah.
women's teams are more willing to stand up? I feel like for social justice than universally men's teams. Like women's basketball teams, if we're not showing up, we're not gonna stand for it. You think it's I think they
And
got more money on it
why wouldn't the male team stand in solidarity with the women's team?
because
I
they
think
have.
that's like and that's the part that we're missing. Like women will historically stand up, but the men's teams never stand in support with us.
What's up with his mouth? This thing.
He's giving somebody the Presidential Medal of Freedom to the one guy. I guess he the
He's
leader.
the goalie.
He's the goalie. Oh, he's the goalie. Oh, he wanted to get a Presidential Medal of Freedom, but he doesn't look like he's from. Well, let me
I
not say
mean,
that.
he represents Byron Donald. You see that?
Yeah,
So what are you thinking? Other than him just the winning and
I am
winning.
thinking that this is us just watching. I don't know if
What
I'm
is
allowed
he
to
do?
say just big dick swinging. Like, this is what we're watching right now. This is power. This is an attempt. That's just sorry viewers. But I had this conversation earlier about billionaires and how they view themselves, right? And we think that there is and I'm not gonna paint all I'm not gonna say all billionaires, but I'm saying what we're seeing on display tonight is just an example of like we're doing what we do and we really don't care about anything or anybody else. We really don't care. Everything we're celebrating right now, we really feel like is a win. We're gonna celebrate it as a win. Like it if you we don't care if you like it, we don't care if you don't, we don't care if it's a lie, we don't care if it's the truth. It's just really crazy to watch.
I would say my one thought here in giving him the Presidential Medal of Freedom and like how he goes into the did you practice this move and so forth. I think he wants to be the coolest man in the room and he has that kind of energy to like you need to praise me like how thin skinned he is and he wants to like laugh at me, but isn't it funny like this is an 80-year-old man, essentially almost an 80-year-old man, and he's still this way where he's not comfortable in his own skin. It just feels like he is not comfortable in his own skin. But let me get back to playing this. All right. He just announced that he's giving him the Medal of Freedom. Why is he getting the Medal of
Yeah,
Freedom? What did he
I
do
don't know.
special other than be the
I have
goalie?
no idea. I don't know. Now I mean, I'm gonna wait to our. Make sure to pause my TV at the same time. But let me say this.
Hmm.
Well, first of all, you know, feelings about Trump. There's that. In the State of the Union in general, there's always this sort of like I just wonder, how could the State of the Union, is this the best we can do when we say this is going to be the State of the Union, right? So the State of the Union agenda includes, we celebrate military, we celebrate the president's accomplishments, which are supposedly attached to our accomplishments as a country, I'm guessing. And like there's no sort of consciousness around around that needing to be like, okay, so he, like, for example, celebrating the ending of DEI and then saying, is that, and then everybody clapping like that's a win for the country, right? That's the part that's weird to me, when there's these presidential pieces that are like, here, and this thing is lower than ever, or this thing is better than ever, and I've done it better than these people, and I've done it better than those people. And then it's like, but as a country, we're still suffering. As a country, we're people are looking at us like we're crazy because we're not responding to the Epstein files the way they're responding. Some of these folks are
Hmm.
responding with great force, right? Like, it is, we're so disconnected. These states of the union to me always show more disconnect than
It is,
collaborative.
again. I think when I like I said, I think the relevance of the State of the Union and definitely its impact has greatly suffered because of the amount of. I think it's about the media, where we are as a country. Think about it, like we have 24/7 news cycles that we didn't used to have. You have a million other different ways to consume news, social. There's so much more content and entertainment that is coming. So no longer does the world stop to hear what a president has to say during the State of the Union.
That
They're
part.
gonna get clips. They're gonna be, now we're in the meme culture for the last years. Like I said, I think it really started in Obama era, because Obama, I think, was the first true internet president. Even though George W. Bush like oversaw the internet and it's growing, social media is like this new internet 2.0. And in that, once there's less and less eyes and less focus, no longer are people getting a full context of watching an entire State of the Union. Um,
No, you're absolutely correct. It's funny because I'm in a group of women executives, like a group
mhm.
chat, and and they're kind of like, "Oh, what? Yeah, we'll get a cliff notes later." So to your point, I think this is very widespread that people think about it way, versus like there was a time where like the world would stop. Oh my God, our president is speaking. But then I think too with Trump, you're even more, you're
That's
inundated with
exactly.
this
You
like,
get so much Trump
yeah.
as opposed to, even I would say, Obama. He's not a speaker you even really want to hear talk. You want to hear some jokes and maybe be entertained here and there. But if you're not for Trump, you have such a visceral reaction against him. You don't want to sit here and sit through an hour of listening to him. And thank you, Omi, for doing that and going through this torture with me. But two, I think there was excitement around Obama. Whether you definitely, if you loved Obama, but the I mean, he's known as such a great orator and a speaker. So there was such excitement to hear him, and he wasn't as exposed. Yes, you heard regularly from the president, Obama presidency, but it wasn't so much every day. What is he saying? Tweeting, video, content. I'm constantly giving you something. That's just not the media cycle. And then you moved into what Trump did in terms of being a full on, all out press push, even if he didn't do formal press conferences, press push. And then you had Biden, who we were kind of hiding while he was there. So
Well, here's the other thing about it is like you're sitting through lies essentially, right? Like I think that in watching other presidents, and don't get me wrong, I don't know that any president, and you can correct me on this, I don't know that anybody's touting of how much they've done was 100% all the way through. So
no,
there's always these fact check moments. There's always like, can you really say that though? Moments like that happens. But I think with Trump, there's this very blatant lies It's like, yo, that absolutely isn't true at all. No way, shape, or form. There's no gray area, nothing. What we're saying is a full on lie. And I think that, like, in that case, people are just getting tired to listening to it over and over. And he is getting a kick out of doing it over and over because he's telling truths for a certain group of people. And he's only concerned about that group of people. And that's it.
It is. I just I definitely want to. So a little bit of insight, as you know, I worked at the White House and worked under President Biden for 2 years, and then also, like I said, worked in Capitol Hill and Congress for almost seven. Like I said, I worked for seven State of the Unions, but seven of them. Right now, what he's doing, he's going through these guests that are pre-approved and like chosen to hopefully demonstrate one of his major policy points or something that has been going on in the zeitgeist and the culture to add energy. But one of the things that you don't realize is like how much preparation goes into the State of the Union. I remember the first
Mm.
two State of the Unions that we were in, because we were coming out of the pandemic. So the president is then going through, mind you, the president is going through, can you hear me still?
Yeah.
Okay. The president is going through literally weeks of prep as they are starting to put this, like, continue to put elements of the speech together. I remember Vinay, who was the president's chief, President Biden's chief speechwriter, and I would talk to him. I'd talk to him and run into him the month leading into the 2 weeks to where like this is his Super Bowl in terms of
Yeah.
like the levels of the speech, how many times the president has to practice it, how many levels of that, how many different things have to go into it, how it can change last minute due to whatever the conditions and things are going on. Like the president, I would say the two biggest things the president practices for that I would say would be the State of the Union and whatever presidential debate they may have. Like if
Now,
there's a presidential debate.
one of the things that's interesting about this, and that I think is interesting is that, like, these people, some of these people do deserve to be appreciated, right? Like this general, the U.S. even Team USA, the hockey team, like some of these people deserve to be appreciated. It's
Hmm.
sad that that it has to be overshadowed by politics in a way that have the country divided right now. Right? To your point of this being his Super Bowl, he's getting a kick out of it. Pun intended. Ba-dum-bum. No, you didn't like my joke. What are your thoughts on the Trump accounts?
So I think it's just another way to push money into the private sector that will
Mm.
eventually in way ways to skim off the top. When you think about the Trump accounts, they didn't need to be managed, and you're talking about bill. Hold on. All Democrats. See, here he goes with the all Democrats. Here, let me pause it because I want to talk to when he's about to go into the massive tax cuts, the big beautiful bill, which
Yeah,
it
he
put us
did.
there. But when going back to the Trump accounts, there's some there's some validity of like, yes, let me get savings and investing started for every American. That's a great altruistic goal to start on. But if it is at the expense of public accounts, like I would say public pensions, notice he had Michael Dell and other private people put money into it. Um, and then it's still there's going to be management fees. So you're talking about guaranteed tens, if not eventually hundreds of billions of dollars, where people are taking their 1, 2, 4, 5% fees, and it's just another way to shuttle money into the private banking, private credit, private investment community. and create a new revenue stream for them, with taxpayer dollars. And so that's
But
where
it, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, no, no. I was saying like that's the concept of getting people to save and invest is good. The vehicle and it's highly imperfect vehicle, and it's still I could take it from another leader potentially if he did it, but knowing he's the whole goal of the Trump presidency for real is power and privatization. How do I get more things that are in the public sector into the private sector so the private sector can make money off of it? That's my
Also,
thinking.
al- also how can I give a head start to a certain group of children? Right. I think that's also the kicker. Like, how can I get so any child under 18
Hmm.
can have $1,000 in their government seed funded if they were born during 2025 to 2028. And this is interesting. Addition to that $1,000, parents can contribute up to $5,000 per year. So in a way, this is kind of smart from the standpoint of how do we get more money to move through the markets? We actually start we pull the money from somewhere, we tell people to put it into these accounts, but actually all that money is just circulating through the market, right? So like, and so it gives these investors, institutional investors at some point, just another way to pull on that capital to invest in more quote innovations and gamble on your pensions or your this now these IRAs, to your point. On one hand though, could be interesting in terms of like if your child was born, 2025 to 2028, that you do take advantage of it. Like I would empower and encourage people to go and take advantage of it. Because we haven't had the government, like, in my opinion, this could be better than just a stipend though. Than just like a give everybody $250.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
think
I
that
mean,
like
it's better than,
this
but
is
it's.
smart.
I think it's better. Great big beautiful bill. The that bill.
Oh wow.
Hold on, wait. You
Now
might
this
be a
is
little ahead of. You might
interesting.
be you
I
might be a little
am, but
ahead of.
what you
Wait,
just
wait.
said is interesting from a
Hold on,
business
let me get there. Let
perspective.
me get there. Let's get there. What?
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. What did he say? Let me see. Let me see.
Okay, so you're at the Big Beautiful Bill part?
Record book.
Millions and millions again.
The
Let me
Dow
make a note
Jones.
because I want to say something about it.
The tariffs.
Okay, there we go. What he said. Okay, wait. Let him get through statement. Put the captions on because then I can tell when it's there. I'm hoping everybody listening to us can hear it because I know I can't on your screen.
Oh, I can hear. Let me double check. Hold on. Okay, so I just got word. I just got word. We people can't. Somebody just said people can only hear part of what's going on here. So let me make sure I'm doing this right. Are you still watching?
I am.
I'm sorry, because somebody just said somebody was like, I can only hear part of this, and is
Byron's and Byron Donald's is a dumbass. Um, are the price of eggs down? Can we verify that? Because that's what we just said.
Mhm.
But what are the price of eggs are down? Okay, but what I want to the part that I wanted to talk about was he said when he started talking about the tariffs, he was talking about the tariffs. He views the tariffs as being able to replace modern day taxes. Interesting. How is that? He's saying, oh, them paying the tariffs to us, being able to replace foreign countries paying tariffs, replacing the modern day taxes. That's interesting. Now, and I'm saying that's interesting because from a business standpoint, if he can pull that off, yo, that would be. I mean, now granted, economically, we're still paying because they charge the clapback on the tariffs is the problem, right? So like we charge them more, maybe, but then they turn around charge us more. Now production
Mhm.
wise, we're having challenges. People having challenges from doing overseas, getting overseas products and things like that. So like at the end of the day, a lot of the costs of him making these moves still pass to the consumer. But this is an interesting play. If this is a true vision and not just a talking point, economically, I am curious about the idea of like, well, what would it look like for tariffs to offset modern day taxes in some way? Now that is an interesting concept. I'm not a Trump fan or anything like that. But and I got the volume down real low, so I hope I heard that right.
No, yeah.
But that is an interesting concept. But it's also crazy for him to bring that up right in front of Congress. I mean, right in front of the Supreme Court justices when they have already like basically said, no, this is unconstitutional for you to be doing these tariffs this way. And he gonna go ahead and lean into it and be like, I believe that tariffs can be this. So he's letting us know that he's gonna skate around them striking down what he's come up with.
Do you think it is because they're looking for ways? To me, is the whole idea of that is they're looking for ways to cut taxes to zero, especially for businesses.
Oh, 1000%. They're like 1000%. And that's why I'm saying, like, it's an interesting concept. Like, I'll be honest, as a business owner, it is a very interesting concept for him to go. You have it in front of us on screen. I don't know if you can know
Oh,
that.
sorry, my
But
bad.
I think it's an interesting concept to say, to project, right? Now, whether or not this can actually happen or that's the truth is another thing. But to project that tariffs could potentially become quote help us lower modern day taxes. That's not a concept that any other president has put in place. I'm not a fan of Trump, but I'm just saying that like economically, the reason why I want people to be paying attention is just understanding that you're looking at a businessman, not a president. You're looking at a person that comes from the Silicon Valley level type of playbook that is thinking. So even with the Trump accounts, right?
Hmm.
How do we move the money that is not actually moving in the market into accounts where it can move in the market, right? That's what he's doing. Will it benefit some people? Heck yeah. If you get in on it, that's what I'm saying. Like if you did have a child born in January 2025 to 2028, get on it. Like get if it's available to do, I said do it and put that money in those accounts as you can over time. You're gonna see some benefit from that. So again, I'm trying to zoom out and be as objective as I can because it's hard to. But I'm also looking for opportunities. When there's chaos, we have to. I feel when there's chaos, when there's craziness, when there's trouble, there's time to look for opportunities. And some of these things
Hmm.
are can be opportunities for all, not all of them, to a certain extent, depending on how we look at it. So here's another thing that does for industry. So okay, Let with the Trump accounts, what if you do have a child born between January 2025 and December 31st, 2028? What if a nonprofit says, okay, for all those children who are low income or under resourced, we'll fund their they get 1,000, we'll fund $5,000 that goes into it. What does that create for the future of a set of children if a nonprofit would do something like that?
I guess my thought there is I still go back to the country should not be run like a business, because at the end of the day it is still about profit, creating profit and loss. There's efficiencies that we want to get the most out of our dollar, but the ultimate goal is not about generating a profit. And I find some type of problem with the concept of, like, I'm going to create these accounts that people essentially have to trade and lose on, because if the accounts lose, or if you have a down year, you don't beat the general market or things of that nature.
Well, you
It's like,
just
where's
hold.
but again, it's having that, like, no one's managing it for free. So that means rather than give somebody the money, give them this money, you're giving a piece of this to companies. Who's the winners and losers there? So, like, that's
But I also don't think that. Let me say this. I want to put forth that there is no answer, because I also don't think that Democrats have the answer for serving all people either. Like, I was a person who was on Section 8 and government assistance and all that, and like the system was not built to help me win off of it per se. So I don't know what the solution is, and I don't know that we have it as a country. But I will also say that, like, we need to figure out what are the economics that work for everyone, right?
Mhm.
So, see, I agree with some of the things you're saying, and some things I don't. Because I think that, like, we got people out here right now telling their kids, let's go get them, different accounts and put it in the market. So I don't know that, like, having $1,000 from the government is nice, but yeah, it's gonna play in the market, and having their money to play in the market versus your money to play in the market.
But
I mean,
but
I don't know.
that
I don't
there
know.
you just thought me. Their money is our money because it's taxpayer money. You're saying the
Right,
government's
but
money,
what
as
about
in
that?
it's still our money.
But
That's
what
the
about
point.
that as a way to but what about that? Now, granted, again, I want to be clear, I'm not a Trump supporter, but I am saying, what about this way to support under-resourced people too? And right? Because I think that, like, right now, without that, you get a check, that doesn't create longevity for you. You get somebody to give you $1,000, that doesn't create longevity for you at all. $1,000 gets eaten up tomorrow.
No, I get it.
So
I
I
hear
don't know.
uh,
You're not wrong. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, I don't know, right? Like, what we saying?
what we say. What we saying.
I
Let me go back to.
don't think we have the answer for a collective, like, for like a economy that works for everyone. That's my answer.
Let me hear this here a little bit.
They were murderers. 11,000 murders. They came into our country. You allowed that to happen.
The sound came up for a minute and it went out. Let me
It
I'll talk
is
to
a
these
word.
here.
They just used it. Somebody
There you go.
knowing full well that they caused and
You
created
can hear?
the increased prices that all of our citizens had to endure. You caused that
I
problem.
fixed it.
You caused that problem.
I should know how to do this better. I do this all the time. For a person who live streams almost every day, can you talk to the people? I'm just gonna double check to make sure we're still getting people are getting
But I
this.
think their mic
They
went
knew
out
their
now.
statements were a lie. They
I
knew.
think right now I'm on
Hello,
your
hello.
computer.
Their
You
statements
can hear
were
me?
a dirty, rotten lie.
I can hear you.
Their policies created the high prices. Our policies are rapidly ending them. We are doing really well. Those prices are plummeting downward. The price of eggs is down 60%, madam.
Are they? From last year?
Cost of chicken, butter, fruit, hotels, automobiles, rent is lower today.
Is down,
And even beef, which was very high, is starting to come down significantly. Just hold on a little while. We're getting it down. And soon you will see numbers that few people would think were possible to achieve just a short time ago. Nobody can believe when they see the kind of numbers, and especially energy, when they see energy going down to numbers like that, they cannot believe it. It's like another big tax cut. I'm also confronting one of the biggest ripoffs of our times, the crushing costs of health care caused by you. Since the passage of the Unaffordable Care Act, sometimes referred to as Obamacare, big insurance companies have gotten rich. It was meant for the insurance companies, not for the people. With our government giving them hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars a year as their stock prices soared 1,000, 1,200, 1,400, and even 1,700%.
Who are these
Nothing
people?
else. That's why I introduced the great healthcare plan. I want to stop all payments to big insurance companies and instead give that money directly to the people so they can buy their own healthcare, which will be better healthcare at a much lower cost.
Are you hip to Trump RX? Are you hip to Trump RX?
I've seen it.
So all it is it's like a funnel marketplace. So it's a place for you. It's a place for you to go.
Transparency. That's a big deal.
Trump RX, and I encourage listeners and viewers to watch it. Trump RX is almost like a Shopify marketplace, to where it's not a government site, but it's Trump being able to direct people. He's giving us the illusion of choice by saying, "Here, I'm gonna give you." It's like block grants. I'm gonna give you the money, and you figure it out yourself. But now, health insurance companies will raise the prices even more, so you're getting less. You're getting less out of your insurance than when we're able to pool our money and pool our resources together. So it's actually like I'm not paying healthcare companies directly, and I'm giving it to people. And it's like, yeah, but then people are actually now being priced out of healthcare because the price is so much higher. I don't know.
Sounds so simple, so big.
It's hard to listen to him.
And I did that in my first term, and the Democrats immediately terminated it with full knowledge that they were doing a very bad thing. Of course, we're going to go way up, and that's what
the Affordable Care Act is what first opened up the space of this marketplace. So I think like there's so many things on the Affordable Care Act that he's masking as his thing. That's actually not his thing. Some of these things were already there. Maybe the difference is this: I'm gonna give y'all the money thing. But like other than that, like the marketplace pieces that you had that was there and available for everyone, that was the Affordable Care Act. Like if there was no Affordable Care Act, he wouldn't be able to even do this. He just hates. That man despises Obama. Okay, he can't stand Obama.
Oh, it's deep in his soul. It's deep in his soul. Like
He can't stand it.
And Obama the one kicked off his career ever since that White House Correspondents' Dinner. But anyways, as I digress.
Also ending the wildly inflated cost of prescription drugs like has never happened before.
Can you hear it? What you looking at?
I was just reading what you were playing. Affordable Care
Presidents tried to do it, but they never could. They tried. Most didn't try, actually. But they tried. They said they tried. They couldn't do it. They didn't even come close. They were all talk and no action. But I got it done. Under my just enacted most favored nation agreements, Americans who have for decades paid by far the highest prices of any nation anywhere in the world for prescription drugs will now pay the lowest price anywhere in the world for drugs. Anywhere. The lowest price.
Do you think he actually practiced the speech?
Not only do I think he
So
practiced,
in
but he
my
like popped his collar
first
a little
year,
bit when he got
second
done
term,
practice. Like, I'm
I'm
gonna kill him with this
one. But strange things happen.
I don't think he sat through a whole
I
practice.
took prescription drugs, a very big part of healthcare, from the highest price in the entire world to the lowest. That's a big achievement.
That's not
The
true.
result is price differences of 300, 400, 500, 600% and more. All available right now at a new website called TrumpRx.gov. And I didn't name that one either, by the way.
I gotta break down how bad Trump RX is for people. Like I said, this is.
And here tonight is the very first customer ever to get that big discount, and it is big. Catherine Rayner. For 5 years, she and her husband have struggled with infertility, and they turned to IVF. One drug has been costing Catherine $4,000 to purchase. But a few weeks ago, she logged onto the Trump RX website and got that same drug that cost $4,000, got it for under $500, a reduction of much more, actually, than $3,500. Catherine, we are all praying for you, and you're going to be a great mom.
Also, you know, there was already good RX. That was word.
Alright. And he just co-opted it. Damn.
So now I'm
Can we put a pause? I just really want to talk about Trump RX because I feel like it's a scam in front of us. Direct-to-consumer drug sales won't help most Americans. He launched Trump RX, lower prices on brand name medications. Mind you, he only has like 40 plus, I think 40 plus there. But for most of our Americans, the initiative represents no solution to our prescription price dilemma. In fact, Trump RX won't help most of America because it's designed for cash-paying, uninsured patients rather than the roughly 85% of Americans who have prescription drug coverage. So if you have prescription drugs and you're covered under some, whether government plan, Medicare, Medicaid, or health insurance, you actually can't do that. For insured people, existing pharmacy benefits remain cheaper.
Well, see, here's the thing. So what's interesting about it is, so Good RX was similar when it first started. So I also wonder where he's building to. Because when Good RX first came out, it was the same way. You can pay in cash, you can use the credit, use the coupon. Then it eventually evolved where I think you can use it on top of your prescription. But like even now, so to the point of like when you go to pick up your prescription, you can choose to not use your healthcare. You don't have to use your healthcare to cover your prescription. You can say like, I'm not going to use my healthcare. I actually have this coupon, and then you can use that coupon. What I think is like the thing about it is what I dislike about Trump RX most is this like touting of like I'm the first one to create it, and like look how much I'm saving you. When there's Good RX and there's a bunch of other ones that was already this exact same work, and that's the part that annoys me about it. Like long term, is it a scam? Does it work? How the payments go? I don't have as much critique on that because a lot of these payment like coupon sites for prescriptions started out that way. But the kicker is like the long-term plan of building it, getting money from it, right? Like just co-opting somebody else's idea and then taking that and touting that as your success and then constantly getting money from it as well, which is just crazy.
You know, another layer deeper of why you might have had Trump RX versus Good RX. You know who one of the chief investors is of Good RX?
Oh,
Mark Cuban, billionaire, former owner of the Dallas Mavericks, the new Trump enemy.
Here we go. I'm telling you about I just told you about the dick swinging, didn't I? This is where it's at.
Good RX,
because
Mark Cuban has been like a face and really been touting Good RX as an opportunity for cash paying. To your point, cash paying people. even though, like I said, the majority of Americans who get prescriptions are not paying out of pocket for it, but it also has a huge price comparison tool. So you may get prescription drugs other places, but that's one thing like GoodRx touts. Trump RX doesn't do that. But let's get back to hearing what President Trump has to say.
Holding on Congress to codify my most favored nation program into law. Now, the one thing I'm not sure it matters because it's going to be very hard for somebody that comes along after me to say, let's raise drug prices by 700 or 800%. But John and Mike, if you don't mind, codify it anyway. They may do it. Codify it anyway. Thank you. Many Americans are also
John Thune and Mike Johnson.
Demand from AI data centers could unfairly drive up their electric utility bills. Tonight, I'm pleased to announce that I have negotiated the new Ratepayer Protection Pledge. You know what that is? We're telling the major tech companies that they have the obligation to provide for their own power needs. They can build their own power plants as part of their factory so that no one's prices will go up. And in many cases, prices of electricity will go down for the community and very substantially down. This is a unique strategy never used in this country before. We have an old grid. It could never handle the kind of numbers, the amount of electricity that's needed. So I'm telling them they can build their own plant. They're going to produce their own electricity. It will ensure the company's ability to get electricity while at the same time lowering prices of electricity for you. It could be very substantial for all of you cities and towns. You're going to see some good things happen over the next number of years.
Notice what he doesn't talk about there. You know what he's not talking about? The pollution impacts. The pollution impact of building more power plants. How are they going to produce electricity? He's not saying, oh, he cut all the subsidies to solar and wind. So what are they doing? More coal burning? More, yeah, I mean, we don't build nuclear plants anymore. So it's not nuclear. He doesn't, it's interesting how
cut
he
off our nose and fight our face.
his face,
situation.
exactly.
The pillar of
Are you sleeping listening to this?
has been under attack is home ownership. With us tonight is Rachel Wiggins, a mom of two from Houston. She placed bids on 20 homes and lost all of those bids to gigantic investment firms that bypassed inspection, paid all cash, and turned those houses into rentals, stealing away her American dream. She was devastated. Stories like this are why last month I signed executive order to ban large Wall Street investment firms from buying up into thousands single-family homes. And now I'm asking Congress to make that ban permanent because homes for people, really, that's what we want. We want homes for people, not for corporations.
He's saying banning private equity firms from buying up all the single family homes.
That's something that, if it actually was true, or if it is true, and it is, like, that's something you can find universal appeal on. I think the devil will be in the details of, like, is it a bait and switch? Because it's just similar to Trump RX. The concept is good. The execution and, like, again, the devil being in the details is good. Like, Trump has floated some policies that people really would like. I'm going to cap credit card at 10%. That would be amazing. But if you see what the industry says, all right, then they said have one. They won't let it happen because that's like that would.
Well, I did get a notice from
my credit card that they were not going to raise the APR. So I don't know. Maybe there is something. I don't know that that's happening or not.
But I'm just saying that like, they were going to raise it and then send me a notice and they're not going to raise it.
So I think like that is.
I thought it was
interesting. I got that like a week ago.
But again, to your point,
universally could be great.
So doing just fine. Rachel, thank you very much. Good luck with your home. You'll get one soon. We're also working to make it easier for Americans to save for retirement And under this administration, we will always protect Social Security and Medicare. They are not protecting it for our seniors. We will always protect Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid.
Okay, another
universal
thing
that may work. What you think?
I mean,
Since I took office, the typical 401k balance is up by at least $30,000. That's a lot of money. We have millions and millions of people, because the stock market has done so well, setting all those records. Your 401ks are way up. Yet half of all of working Americans still do not have access to a retirement plan with matching contributions from an employer. To remedy this gross disparity, I'm announcing that next year my administration will give these often forgotten American workers, great people, the people that built our country, access to the same type of retirement plan offered to every federal worker. We will match your contribution with up to $1,000 each year, as we ensure that all Americans can profit from a rising stock market. Let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information.
Okay, now wait a minute. Is he saying that everyone employed is going to get up to $1,000 a year? What is he saying?
Let me see it again.
Always protect houses into rentals, stealing away her administration. We will always protect Social Security and Medicare. They are not protecting it for our seniors. We will always protect Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. Since I took office, the typical 401k balance is up by at least $30,000. That's a lot of money. We have millions and millions of people, because the stock market has done so well, setting all those records. Your 401ks are way up. Yet half of all of working Americans still do not have access to a retirement plan with matching contributions from an employer. To remedy this gross disparity, I'm announcing that next year my administration will give these often forgotten American workers, great people, the people that built our country, access to the same type of retirement plan offered to every federal worker. We will match your contribution with up to $1,000 each
Every
year,
federal worker,
as we ensure that all Americans
you're going to get the same thing that we get to federal workers. We're matching
members of
$1,000
Congress cannot corruptly profit from using
I
insider
don't know exactly what
information.
working Americans is referring to. I'm hoping that's all working Americans. But if that is the case, hey, I mean, as the business owner, yes, have at it. We need that. We can't afford to match everyone at certain levels, dollar for dollar. So it's like that could be universally great if that's real. To your point,
For that, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up if she was here? Doubt it.
wow.
Pass the Stop Insider Trading Act without delay.
Now you're calling out Nancy Pelosi.
I wasn't sure if anybody even on this side was going to applaud for that. I'm very impressed. Thank you. I'm very impressed. But when it comes to the corruption that is plunging, it's plundering America. There's been no more stunning example than Minnesota, where members of the Somali community have pillaged an estimated $19 billion from the American taxpayer. Oh, we have all the information. And in actuality, the number is much higher than that. And California, Massachusetts, Maine, and many other states are even worse. This is the kind of corruption that shreds the fabric of a nation, and we are working on it like you wouldn't believe. So tonight, although started 4 months ago, I am officially announcing the war on fraud to be led by our great Vice President, J.D. Vance. He'll get it done. find enough of that fraud, we will actually have a balanced budget overnight. It'll go very quickly. That's the kind of money you're talking about. We'll balance our budget. The Somali pirates who ransacked Minnesota remind us that there are large parts of the world and lawlessness are the norm, not the exception. Importing these cultures through unrestricted immigration and open borders brings those problems right here to the USA. And it is the American people who pay the price in higher medical bills, car insurance rates, rent, taxes, and perhaps most importantly, crime. We will take care of this problem. We're going to take care of this problem. We are not playing games. Delilah. Delilah Colvin was only 5 years old in June 2024 when a 18-wheel tractor trailer plowed into her stopped car traveling at 60 miles an hour or more. The driver was an illegal alien let in by Joe Biden and given a commercial driver's license by open borders politicians in California.
Here we go.
Doctors said Delilah would never be able to walk or talk.
Open border politicians?
She wouldn't even be able to eat again. But against all odds, she is now in the first grade learning to walk. And she's here this evening with her dad, Marcus, a fantastic man. Delilah, please, you are a great inspiration. Please stand up.
Who's whistling like that?
I just know this black woman in the back, highly unbothered. I wonder what her role is, because like she's conscious that the camera's on and she's like, I'm about to get roasted in the black community. I'm gonna just do this so I don't get kicked out of here.
Speak English and cannot read even the most basic road signs as to direction, speed, danger, or location. That's why tonight I'm calling on Congress to pass what we will call the Delilah Law, barring any state from granting commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens.
Come on, man. Is that even an issue? Like how many non-residents, illegal non-residents have commercial driver's CDLs?
I hosted a ceremony with Americans who lost their treasured loved ones to the scourge of illegal immigration. People came into our country, how we allowed this to happen with our open borders. These are the angel moms and families that for decades our government betrayed and our media totally ignored. It was terrible. Hard to believe, actually. In 2023, a 16-year-old high school cheerleader named Elizabeth Medina was supposed to perform in her town's Christmas parade, but she never arrived. Her mother, Jacqueline, went home to look for her, and she found her lying dead in a bathtub, bleeding profusely after being stabbed 25 times. Elizabeth's killer was a previously arrested illegal alien who had broken in.
You gotta keep that going. You gotta keep that.
That illegal aliens are like killing people and
violently and viciously. Her heartbroken mother is in the gallery to remind everyone in this chamber exactly why we are deporting illegal alien criminals to our country at record numbers, and we're getting them the hell out of here fast. We don't want them. Thank you very much, Jacqueline. Thank you. We can never forget that many in this room not only allowed the border invasion to happen before I got involved, but indeed they would do it all over again, if they ever had the chance, if they ever got elected, they would open up those borders to some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world. The only thing standing between Americans and a wide open border right now is President Donald J. Trump and our great Republican patriots in Congress. Thank you. Thank you.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
As we speak, Democrats in this chamber have cut off all funding for the Department of Homeland Security. It's all cut off. It's all
Nice.
cut off. They have instituted another Democrat shutdown, the first one costing us 2 points on GDP. 2 points we lost on GDP. Which
2 points on GDP.
Actually.
Does he even know what that means?
Now they have closed the agency responsible for protecting Americans from terrorists and murderers. Tonight I'm demanding the full and immediate restoration of all funding for the border security, homeland security of the United States, and also for helping people clean up their snow. We have no money because of the Democrats, and it would be nice. We'd love to give you a hand at cleaning it up, but they gave no money.
Is Homeland Security supposed to be cleaning our snow?
So you have to think
like, why does they even think that, like,
pretty large snowstorm.
Yes, do I want?
Yes, people believe this.
And it's like,
a chance to see clearly what
it's like, yes, objectively and on its face, would you want somebody to come help clean up your snow? Of course. Is it the Department of Homeland Security? Is that what they're best utilized for? It just, I'm quiet, and I'm sorry to the people listening and watching. I'm like quiet and watching this and reading it. I was trying to pull up some stats in full time. As a person who's worked in the government and like worked in Congress specifically,
You got a little bit of an echo. If I can hear it. Keep talking.
Can you still hear me? Do I have an echo now?
No, I can hear you. Oh no, that's better.
Oh, I get why it is. It just bothers me when I see somebody kind of like twisting and turning and bastardizing what the government can and can't do. Like, he's such an unconventional Republican, and he's pushed the country to this place to where I'm not here to say that when you've had Democratic presidents from Bill Clinton to Obama to Trump, to Biden and George W. Bush, they definitively are using this to frame it the way they want. And they're going to call out the things that they want to push back on and call out narratives. But the idea is always to project positivity. Like, there's like, universally, you have to project positivity. Like, you can't come up here and say gloom and doom, gloom and doom, gloom and doom. Like, that has stock market effects, that has sentiment effects, and so forth. But for it just to be, I definitely know Democrats do this. And even, I'm only using George W. because he was the last major Republican president. They just wouldn't twist or completely twist the facts, or flat out lie on the facts, or misrepresent what's happening, because they knew there was some level of checks and balance. There was some level of, you know what, we'll get caught out for lying on this. You know what, our own party may hold us into account. The American people will hold us into account. And it just bothers me. It's like, it girds my soul, because it's like, how do I respond to that? And I don't know if people believe it, but I think even worse, it just makes people tune out completely. Because apathy, if you believe it at least, or you hear it and you're considering it, you're at least somewhat engaged. But when you just tune out and it's like, I don't fuck with any of this, it allows even more things to happen. But that's just my.
Well, here's the thing. When a certain group of people tune out, then they only have to talk to the people that stay tuned in, which will be the people who are eating it up. And then there's people who are like, we know he lying, but no one knows what it means, but it's provocative. Keep going. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's a group of those folks in the Republican Party where they're like, yeah, we know it's a lie, but like, go, go, go. Cause like, just overshadow and just, make it all sound loud. So they get caught up in distraction over here while we do this other thing over there. Like, I think like that is feels like now the strategy of some of the Republican Party.
Let me put this back on because he's wearing me. He's wearing me
So
down.
long. Like my TV is way ahead of where we are, and he's like still talking.
I'm gonna jump ahead a little
They
bit.
gave somebody else a medal just now. It
I'm about to
is
jump ahead a little bit. Sorry, I'm cheating. For those listening, I'm cheating.
The reason they don't want to do it, why would anybody not want voter ID? One reason, because they want to cheat. There's only one reason. They make up all excuses. They say it's racist. They come up with things. You almost say, what imagination they have. They want to cheat. They have cheated. And their policy is so bad that the only way they can get elected is to cheat. And we're going to stop it. We have to stop it, John.
Can we talk about this? Can we break down to people why
God.
voter ID is like a bad idea? So let's talk about what the context of it. Again, he wraps it in. Don't you want everybody who's just a registered, who's a legal American to vote? Yes, of course. Do we want people who are not here legally and not citizens to be able to vote? No, we don't. But it's not a real problem. Like it's a nuclear weapon to an ant in terms of the under 0.1% of people who illegally vote, who are not citizens and not citizens of the country, whether naturalized or immigrants that vote. Two, how they plan about going about doing this is having you either need to have a passport or a birth certificate that matches your current voter registration and current address. I mean, not address, current voter's registration and name. So what happens if you're married? There's still more than 25% of Americans don't even have a passport or have access to their birth certificate. And if you get married and those names don't align and you haven't gone through the process leading into that, in addition to that, they've cut down the staff on the State Department who issues passports. So it makes it longer to get passports. They've cut down certain passport offices and opportunities. So it makes it harder and a harder process to get that. So it's placing a disproportionate burden on people when they could have just had their state driver's ID. No one's saying you just come up and have no ID, but if you have a legal ID, why can't a driver's license account for that? It's another way to suppress the vote.
No, 1000%. And if we have voter ID, so first of all, I also think that like there's this picture being painted that there's no ID to vote. You still have to have ID to vote. So like this is how I do. Like, well, if we have voter ID, then but you do have to have vote. You have to have an ID to vote. Well, you have to have a voter registration.
Like they
to
act
vote.
like people just
So
walking
like I
up
think
like, yo, I want to vote.
right, like that's not happening, and that's the picture they're painting, right? They're like people just walking up saying they want to vote. It's not happening that way, right? So that's number one, first of all. Second of all, the ID to like they don't want voter ID. His words, quote, they don't want voter ID because they want to cheat. Actually, having this idea of voter ID allows you to cheat even more because now you can hide in plain sight with the like, well, everybody was registered, everybody had ID that came and voted over here, and we still won. It doesn't prevent voter fraud at all because one, voter fraud is happening at a different level, not at the voter level. That's the other thing. It's like this idea of voter
At the
fraud is
voting,
not
it's happening
literally
at the
voters.
voting machine level. It's happening at the state legislator
Exactly.
level. Like, hey, I'm gonna end early voting. I'm gonna
Exactly.
end mail-in voting. I'm gonna end same-day voter registration. At his
That's exactly.
base, at his base, I ask everybody, and then let's not talk about how we've created millions of second-class citizens by the amount of states that don't let people who have served time come out and vote. Or even I'm as far to say I'm on the realm that even if you are in jail, you still should be able to vote because you're not a slave.
I think so too.
Like you still are a
I think
citizen.
that's
You are a
right.
citizen doing time and you are being punished, but you are still a citizen. Because guess what? If you've got to pay, to me, it's this simple. If I have to pay taxes, I have to vote. I get to vote. Because if you come out of jail
Right.
and you're in states where they've that is permanently, if you have committed a felony and you no longer have the right to vote, but you still got to pay taxes, that doesn't jive with me. That just does not jive with me. You can't get me to convince like you have no input on your governance. But let's get back to this because I'm getting tired of this guy. You know, he's had some record long speeches.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, like,
like
years
to show common
here,
sense in government.
he's still talking.
In the gallery tonight are Sage Blair and her mother, Michelle. In 2021, Sage was 14 when school officials in Virginia sought to socially transition her to a new gender, treating her as a boy and hiding it from her parents, isn't it? Before long, a confused Sage ran away from home after she was found in a horrific situation in Maryland. A left-wing judge refused to return Sage to her parents because they did not immediately state that their daughter was their son. Sage was thrown into an all-boys state home and suffered terribly for a long time. But today, all of that is behind them because Sage is a proud and wonderful young woman with a full-ride scholarship to Liberty University. Sage and Michelle, please stand up.
Did she just get a little clock tea?
That same black lady. She like, dang, everybody that need to get clapped for is in her section.
I'm telling you that black woman knows she's on the internet right now. That's how she's like, I'm barely trying to do it.
What's wrong with him? And now we have to say it because it's going on all over numerous states without even telling the parents. But surely we can all agree no state can be allowed to rip children from their parents' arms and transition them to a new gender against the parents' will. Who would believe that we've been talking about this? We must ban it, and we must ban it immediately. Look, nobody stands up. These people are crazy. I'm telling you, they're crazy.
Ooh. Hold up. Let's look at a few things here. I'm gonna make this go bigger on us, so we can show this on the screen. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We had to a couple things. Can you hear me?
Yeah, let's
There's
go
some
over
things
that
to notice.
point.
Look, Raphael Warnock and Senator Lisa Blunt Rochester. And I'm sorry I'm forgetting her name, but I know this is the senator from Hawaii, Democrats. When he just point out these people are crazy, literally no one would have said that. Like no Republican or Democrat ever would say that because these are still colleagues and people who are duly elected officials. And for their colleagues to stand up, because this down here are senators. If you see, I see Langford. This guy looks like a villain. John Thune
Are
didn't
you using
stand.
your mouse to roll over? Because
Huh?
if so, I'm not seeing that. Are you
Oh,
using
well,
your mouse to roll over?
can you see this? Oh, you're not seeing it? Okay. I
No,
am.
it's okay, but go ahead.
Okay. I don't have that thing. But I wanted to say, like, yeah, I was looking at my mouse, and I guess it doesn't showcase. But if you look down a bit right behind the military, you'll see the black man and
Mhm.
the woman
Mm.
next to him and the man next to him. Those are Senator Warnock, Senator Lisa Blunt Rochester of Delaware, and I'm forgetting the name of the senator from Hawaii, Democrats, for them to be looking over and trying to understand how their Republican colleagues, if you look at the closest frame here, are all standing up after he goes, they're crazy, they're crazy. The divisiveness and the division that he's sowing right there by like making no way, shape, or form any kind of overture for bipartisanship, for hey, we're still all Americans. None of that. He is
Go
stoking
back
the
a little
fuels
bit.
of the.
Go back a little bit and leave it big like this, but go back a little bit and show that part.
And thank you for your great bravery. And who can believe that we're even speaking about things like this? 15 years ago, if somebody was up here and said that, they'd say, what's wrong with him? But now we have to say it because it's going on all over numerous states without even telling the parents. But surely we can all agree no state can be allowed to rip children from their parents' arms and transition them to a new gender against the parents' will. Who would believe that we've been talking about this? We must ban it, and we must ban it immediately. Look, nobody stands up. These people are crazy, I'm telling you. They're crazy.
Now, I want to see how many people stay seated.
Boy,
And there was that's crazy. That's crazy.
So a couple.
And
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm listening.
first of all, the idea that people are being ripped from their homes and their genders being changed, this is like the most extremist, crazy narrative that he's painting.
It's not. That's not. That's just not what's happening. And
It's not.
if you found two people in a country of 380 million people, two people, you don't change. You don't make universal law for two people. You fix those two people. What I did notice just there is Senator John Thune, who is the Republican leader of the House, did not stand up when he said these people are crazy because he realizes he still needs to interact with them, and he's a fake sensible Republican. He's like a hey, yes, I'm super ultra conservative, but I'm not right wing MAGA, at least not on my face, even though I will essentially do whatever the president need me to do. But for him to say, to go from there and like 15 years ago, you couldn't say this, but now these people are crazy. That's an ad lib. I guarantee you that wasn't in the speech. It
No,
just,
that wasn't a speech. And wait a minute though. Y'all about to just Lord, let Jasmine Crockett win. Y'all about to start the blue wave, okay? Like, don't call the people crazy. The blue wave, and you see how all the when they were looking over there, like you said, they looking at, oh, let me see who's standing up because y'all gonna need me. So let me look over here and see who's standing up. So when y'all come around here trying to get me to vote with y'all, you'll see what's up. Okay, I see you. I see you. Are you clapping at that? I see you. Like, oh, okay.
only for you listeners and people who watch this in the future are we watching this.
with people like this, Democrats are destroying our country, but we've stopped it just in the nick of time, didn't we? Huh?
And that's what you stand up for?
No one cares
That's
more
what you stand
up for. Wonderful first lady. Now a movie star. She's a movie star. Can you believe it? Who would have believed that? Over the past year, educators in every state have joined the First Lady's efforts in the presidential AI challenge, keeping America's next generation positioned to succeed and strongly succeed in the future. Tonight we welcome two young people whose lives reflect the First Lady's impact Sierra Burns and Everest Nevermont. Thank you both, and Melania, thank you. I know how hard you worked on it. Thank you very much.
I might be proved wrong pretty quick, but when has he said I love you to her?
Oh my God. I literally was thinking that.
That was the perfect time for him to say it right there.
I love you. He didn't say it. He didn't. Oh my God. But
Melania's
Melania's
also looking like, I hate it here.
I
I hate it here.
I'm very proud to say that during my time in office, both the first 4 years and in particular this last year, there has been a tremendous renewal in religion, faith, Christianity, and belief in God. Tremendous renewal.
That's not true.
Can we have an honest conversation about one thing? How that actually doesn't matter? And from where he sits, there's a whole point of separation of church and state, even though that's from the beginning, that's been a farce. I mean, God is literally on our money, and God we trust, and things of that nature. And this is me coming as a deep Christian, a man of faith. But it irks my soul and my spirit. One, because we have a country where people have the right to have no religion, to have no faith, and everything should be equal under the law for them. And so I think even positioning us as a place where we need to be more right in faith, and he tries to get this universal appeal there, is like, I would think they would. And then on top of that, if you do have a religion, but your religion may not be Christianity, may not have a God or be focused on God, it's just some religion that may not be as popular, but that is what you choose to believe. That's supposed to be one of the beauties of this country, that you have every equal protection and ability to thrive as anyone else. There's that. And then there's, you're saying you want Christianity, you kicking the poor out, kicking the like for capital punishment and murder. You're ripping people from their homes. You're promulgating racism and division, like so many things that are not core basic Christian values. And it just, to me, almost more than anything, the bastardization and the usage of Christianity faith as a blunt weapon and shield and a talking point, it really, 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 really irks me. I'm sorry, I just had to say that.
This is especially true among young people, and a big part of that had to do with my great friend, Charlie Kirk, a great guy, great man. So last year, Charlie was violently murdered by an assassin and martyred, really martyred for his beliefs. His wonderful wife, Erica, is with us tonight. Erica, please stand.
Did you see her? I love you guys. I love you. Somebody chanting Charlie.
Yes,
Thank you, Erica. Been through a lot. In Charlie's memory, we must all come together to reaffirm that America is one nation under God, and we must totally reject political violence of any kind.
Now there he'll get universal applause and appeal. That's the one thing everybody can stand.
And we love bringing it back, and it's coming back at levels that nobody actually thought possible. It's really a beautiful thing to see.
He loves saying that.
America's pride.
Nobody ever thought possible. Nobody ever thought possible.
Yet dangerous repeat offenders continue to be released by pro-crime Democrat politicians again and again. We are honored to be joined tonight by a woman who's been through hell, Anya Suretska. In 2022, she and her beautiful daughter, so beautiful, what a beautiful young woman, Irina fled war-torn Ukraine to live with relatives near Charlotte, North Carolina. And by the way, what's going on with Charlotte? Last summer, 23-year-old Irina was riding home on the train when a deranged monster who had been arrested over a dozen times and was released through no cash bail stood up and viciously slashed a knife through her neck and body. No one will ever forget, there were people on that train. No one will ever forget the expression of terror on Irina's face as she looked up at her attacker in the last seconds of her life. She died instantly. She had escaped a brutal war only to be slain by a hardened criminal, set free to kill in America, came in through open borders. Mrs. Zaretsky, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina.
I have a question.
How do you not stand? How do you not stand? I'm asking this Congress to pass tough legislation to ensure...
I have two questions now. Can you hear me? One, who killed Charlie Kirk?
We ain't caught him. Just like
No, we did catch him.
You know, according to Candace Owens. According to Candace Owens, maybe Erica.
I asked that matter of factly because I feel like something for as high profile
And all the reverence they're giving him, they ain't giving up on that. They let go who killed him.
Yeah, no, they said Tyler Robinson is the guy's name.
Oh, the guy with the words on the bullet encrypt, like
Yeah.
supposedly the bullets had words on them and all that.
Tyler Kirk, he's been charged in the death. And there's news around it. But we're so obsessed with celebrity trials, mass murders, big things. Luis Mangione and what he did became a meme and a star. But the Charlie Kirk trial, I would say, is getting barely any pub. But his name and his face and his likeness and Charlie Kirk is like, I mean, if you go around DC, Charlie Kirk is up on like the side of buildings, legitimately, literally.
Really?
Yeah, right by the Capitol Hill. They have a huge, like on the side of it's right on the corner of, what is that, Massachusetts and 2nd Avenue, Northeast. There is a gas station right there, right before you get to the Capitol, the Senate complex. And I'm not sure what that building is, but it's a big brick wall and building, and there's a gas station underneath. There is, at least I don't know if it's there right now. I haven't looked in about a month, but for about 2.5 to almost 3 months, there was a huge 3-story banner drop down of Charlie Kirk and like talking about Christian faith. He's been in, yes, like, so it just, the reason why I brought up who killed Charlie Kirk, it just, it always was cloud shrouded in some level of not just mystery, but like what happened there, how did this happen? Same thing of like who shot Donald Trump in the air, supposedly, is like people who took some of the biggest shots in assassination or attempted assassinations. Usually the way we treat murder and murder trials and is such a big deal. And for those things to kind of be pushed out of the media and not discussed, I just find that always really interesting. But I don't know. I don't know. And then how do you not stand for that? Like him antagonizing the Democrats just bothers me. Not because I'm caping for Democrats, but it's just like it's nothing is. We clearly know nothing is beneath the office or beneath this president.
that violent and dangerous repeat offenders are put behind bars, and importantly, that they stay there. Starting last summer, I deployed our National Guard and federal law enforcement to restore law and order to our most dangerous cities, including Memphis, Tennessee, big success, New Orleans, Louisiana, big success, and our nation's capital itself, Washington, D.C., where we have almost no crime anymore in Washington, D.C. How did that happen?
I live in DC. There's still crime. Let's start there. Two, it's the where they've been deployed.
Is now at the lowest level ever recorded, and murders in D.C. this January were down close to 100% from a year ago.
Did you hear what he said? Murders in January.
Who killing people in January? It's cold outside. This is so stupid.
No, but
one of the brave service members who helped
manipulation needs to be studied.
Was 20-year-old West Virginia Army National Guard Specialist Sarah Beckstrom.
I'm gonna fast forward a little bit because I'm tired of this guy.
Yeah, I'm getting tired too. And we got more people getting metal. And you can see that's bipartisan support for people getting metal. You know, great in the military. So I'd love to see that. He gave one of like a highest medal to one of the generals, which is also awesome. Now he's honoring like an older general. But I'm pretty sure there's been some more crazy moments that have happened that we probably have skipped over. But it's just like, and you got bipartisan, everybody standing for the generals, of course. It's military. We want to be doing that. I think that like this night, I mean, not to wrap us up, but overall, like this
Oh no,
night,
you can wrap us up because I'm getting tired.
I'm tired it's too. And it's only it's energetic tiredness because it's only 8:00 over here.
Oh, it's 11 on the East Coast, and it's like I'm gaining nothing from him other than I'm watching it. I'm watching real time in like Twitter threads. Like I have on my second screen. That's why I look both ways. I just these were my thoughts on this. I think it's still a huge propaganda machine. I'm curious to actual viewership. It's hard to track viewership now because you have to aggregate how many people watched online, like versus you would normally watch on traditional TV. For example, right now I'm just checking out a few different live streams. There are 3,000 people watching on Fox Atlanta Live now. There are 7,000 people watching on here. How many people are watching the AP? 135,000 watching on AP. Another 240,000 people watching on C-SPAN. Ben Shapiro is having it live. CNBC has 150,000 people watching. There's so many different people. I'm pretty sure there's millions of people who are watching it on live stream or a second stream live stream. So what is that? Again, it's hard to aggregate and understand what the actual impact is, but I think it's going to come down to memes and moments. But what comes after this, the next major fight that's coming out politically is this DHS funding, which controls the funding of ICE. And I think that's going to be another major talking point, a partial shutdown, and they avoided the government shutdown. It's interesting how different in previous years, different presidents have come out of the State of the Union looking to either push one of the major agenda points they had. So it's like, here's the legislation, just push this, or here's my new bill, my budget, and they try to get those budget numbers. Or sometimes some people come out of the State of the Union, and this is usually like a campaign tactic. I'm going to do the State of the Union, then I'm going to hit the road and be in like 6-8 different cities real quick over the next few years and touch American people. to create more energy. But I mean, he announced a few new laws or new acts. We'll see what gets passed, what doesn't, what he just tries to put through executive order or what doesn't. I think he's reeling right now from the tariffs in the Supreme Court overturning. And he, in his mind, he said it he said it in his press conference afterwards. He was like, their family should be ashamed of itself. Amy Coney Barrett, Neil Gorsuch, these are two of the three people he actually put on the court who voted against it. And part of the reason they voted against it, they cited the precedent from the Biden ruling on Biden trying to get student loans forgiven. So it's kind of ironic that, like, hey, you didn't want Biden to have a win, but that his non-win didn't cost you. But I say all that to say is that I think we're gonna get more of this as long as Trump is president. I'm more concerned that what the State of the Union is supposed to represent and what is represented in the hundreds of years history, can it ever be that again?
Yeah, that's a real question.
Can it ever
And
truly be a
I'm
State of
gonna
the Union?
say so here's the thing. My first thought is no. Because I think that, the way that what the State of the Union has become is not actually a State of the Union at all. Like what state are we explaining right now? I mean, because a lot of it's lies on top of, like, it's not uniting us, right? Like, my thought is that this is supposed to be a moment where we do celebrate Americans that have gone through, different things, got that. And that happens with every administration. We have these moments where we celebrate Americans that they deem to represent American stories. That's consistent. Then we have a moment of the, like, well, here's what I did better than everybody else as a president, and we should all celebrate that. And then there is this moment of, like, we got to put the other people down that don't agree with us. And the majority of the time not being spent on progress is my problem. And so I think that, like, what is happening right now with Trump and his regime, MAGA specifically, is they do believe in that whatever they're doing is actually progress. So there's nothing to do but constantly talk about what they see as the right thing to be in place. And then to make sure that the narratives continue to exist. I do think there's some assuring of his base that's happening in these, and we got what, 2 more years of these. So I think the assuring of his base that, like, we're on track in certain ways. I got you. Like, the things about Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security. I think the idea of Social Security has been a long-standing question of, like, we're not gonna, you and I won't have it, basically. Him saying, like, oh no, I'm gonna make sure that's there. You're gonna have it. We care about Social Security. Well, yeah, I mean, like, do you care about it because all Americans need it, or do you care about it because the majority of your base is slightly skews older? Like what? I think that, like, there's just constant division in it. It doesn't feel like a state of us being united at all. It doesn't feel like a moment that there's a union here in any way. And I don't know that it's felt like that in a while. I do think with Obama, he has such a hopeful way of speaking that we all
Mhm.
felt kind of under the hope, right? Even if you disagree with him, you felt inspired by his speaking, to your point. But I would say no, I don't think that a State of the Union goes to a place where it's even informing us. I think, like, so I would say, okay, so older State of the Unions were information. But now we got so much information all the time, everywhere, that you're not even learning nothing potentially, like, new per
Or
se.
nothing super new. Maybe they used to debut a new law or a new intention or a new initiative in the State of the Union, but even that usually gets some level of preview in this current place. And there was a time where State of the Unions, like, I think this just again speaks to where we are as a country and how I won't just blame politicians or politics in dividing us. I think it is everything from social media to just our current the current culture, overall culture, shorter attention spans, higher income inequality, um, information overload, in addition to politicians and politics consistently speaking to and feeding more extreme parts of their base. All these things are coming together to create a more divided country. So it doesn't to me there's been vehement opposition around the State of the Union for probably since 2002, which would have been the State of the Union right after 9/11. Ever since then, there's been a us and them, and then specifically once we had a black man in office, there was a us and them, and then once, and notice he ushered in the Tea Party, so he might have had one good State of the Union before the Tea Party came in, and then I think that put us down on, like, I got there right before the Tea Party, like the year before, and watched the market difference in how things were talked about. That's where the "You Lie," Steve Scalise, and all this other stuff, like, in the shout out, like, we just saw the decorum and the level consistently, rapidly devolve into what we have now. So, can we wrap it here?
Well, I think we can wrap it here. I think
It's
so.
not that
I
and
think
this
this
is
is a
not
good.
to the listeners. Please go check out if you want to watch, like, however many more 20, 30, 50 more minutes of Trump lying. It is on every channel on YouTube you can find. But for me and my house, we will serve the lunch.
As for me and my
My
house, we go
house.
serve court. All
As
right, but
me and
yeah,
me and my house, we gonna go to sleep.
that's
um
hilarious that you said that.
I'm sorry everybody for the technical difficulties. Thanks for bearing with us. You're gonna hear a lot more of me and Omi together. I'm excited.
Absolutely.
I'm excited about our new 30-day experiment. I mean, and I know we have conversations on the phone and text, but I will say this on for whether 6 people see it or 6,000. I like talking with you. I like hearing your perspective. I genuinely
Thank
do.
you. Thank you.
You're not
Same.
me.
I think yeah, same. I think we do a good bouncing off of each other. Because I think that, like, I love that you have, like, deep knowledge because you actually been in these rooms. And then I'm coming from a different angle around these business rooms, and I'm like, bro, actually, what he's saying makes a lot of sense. And you're like, nah, but because of this, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. But I think that, like, in the back and forth, it makes for, like, a really healthy conversation. We will have to talk another time, maybe when we launch the next show, about the should the country be run like a business. Let's make a point on that, because I think we could
Oh,
probably have a whole
that's an episode. We can talk because
yeah,
I
that's
have
we should talk
deep
about.
conviction about that. Deep conviction and some data.
I'm on the fence. I'll be honest. But, well, one, I think, like, should it operate as a business in this system of capitalism? Like, that's one thing, right? Have to acknowledge the terrible layers of that. Have to acknowledge that where things are not ethical. Like, I'm not oblivious to that. However, some of this stuff we do need to work on, you know? Like,
This
I ain't gonna lie. The idea that, like, tariffs could replace or either lower taxes, I kind of like that. But if it works from an economic standpoint, I also do like, the putting $1,000 into a kid's account, as they're born or under 18, $1,000 in your account, and having the parent have the opportunity to add 5K to it every year.
Hmm.
I kind of like that. You know what I mean? Like, I think that, like, from a long-term economic standpoint, and again, here's where there's opportunities to help. If you're a nonprofit and you're doing work around poverty alleviation, why not get some, great foundation money and say, well, we gonna match the parents' Trump accounts. You know what I mean? Like, why I got to be called Trump accounts? I don't like that part. But, like, America Progress accounts. I don't know. Like, I don't think that's all the way a bad idea. And yes, it must moves money in the market, and moving money in the market could mean more innovation, and money in the market could mean losses. But I think, like, could mean GDP. Like, I think that it's an interesting. Let me say that it's an interesting idea. But again, the devil's in the details, and that's what we agree. So, all
Here, one
right,
last thing.
we can
Let's
wrap it
here.
up.
Let's here. His closing remarks.
And now we are pioneering the next great American breakthroughs that will change the entire world. All of this and so much more is the enduring legacy, unmatched glory of the hardworking patriots who built and defended this country and who still carry the hopes and freedoms on all of humanity's backs. For years they were forgotten, betrayed, and cast aside. But that great betrayal is over, and they will never be forgotten again.
You could tell he's struggling.
When the world needs courage, daring, vision, and inspiration, it is still turning to America. And when God needs a nation to work his miracles, he knows exactly who to ask. There is no challenge Americans cannot overcome, no frontier too vast for us to conquer, no dream too bold for us to chase, no horizon too distant for us to claim. For our destiny is written by the hand of providence, and these first 250 years were just the beginning. From the rugged border towns of Texas to the heartland villages of Michigan, from the sun-kissed shores of Florida to the endless fields of the Dakotas, and from the historic streets of Philadelphia to right here in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., the golden age of America is upon us. The revolution that began in 1776 has not ended. It still continues because the flame of liberty and independence still burns in the heart of every American patriot. And our future will be bigger, better, brighter, bolder, and more glorious than ever before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
That's the one part word.
Thank you. And with that, this has been another episode live with our guest, Omi Bell, the Politics Podcast. One of the most exhausting things I've had to do. I could not have done this by myself and just watched this. I would have clicked off a long time ago. But thank you, and make sure you tune in, everybody, and stay alert to all our socials because we're going to be announcing some cool things soon. With that, we are out. Bye.
All right.